Hey, welcome back. What's up here at the Carlos Loma Chronicles? Woo! Woo! My audience just died right now. Felt the earth. Still scared after the earthquake.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're here with special guest, Amber.
Autumn.
Sorry. Amber.
Yes.
Sorry. Autumn. I apologize. I'm all red.
It had an A in it.
It was so close. It was so close, Carlos. Yeah.
I apologize.
No,
I feel red.
You're so good.
Are you sure this is clean?
Right? It's like, surprise.
It's like, oh, okay. Give me more. We'll talk about this later on, about our drinky drink over here. It's called Clean. Cause.
Yeah.
All right, so we're here because you have an interesting story to tell, and you are clean and sober.
Yes.
For how long?
For 6 years.
6 years. All right. And now you're newly married.
I am.
Is this your first time being married?
No.
No?
It's my second time.
Oh, no, man. All right, cool. You got one more strike and stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
We'll talk about your marriages soon, and you guys are competing with Jose and Maritza.
I hear.
Two of the sickest loves couple. Like
We're very competitive.
like watch Jose come back with a hat with Maritza, and
All of a sudden, Mike and Jose are just, yeah. They just have shirts.
We're the
different
husband
things.
team.
Yeah.
Matching shirts, hats.
I love it.
sick. Anyways, so how was your life before sober, and when did you realize you had a problem?
So, before I got sober, there was a lot of chaos, right?
I can relate.
And a lot of just failed attempts at things, failed attempts at jobs, failed attempts at relationships.
How many jobs did you go through?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know, but it was always their fault. It was never my fault, and I just couldn't understand. I thought I had really, really bad luck. I didn't really think, there were a couple of times where I felt like maybe my drinking problem was getting a little bit out of control. But to be honest, I never wanted to quit.
So, I'm sorry. So what was your drug of choice?
So, I drank, and then I also did meth.
But that was part later on, right?
That was...
Or did you start off the bat like, hey,
I'm here. Quick decline. You know what? I actually started doing it in high school. And it's weird because, I didn't really, everyone just kind of, smokes pot. And then it's, this cycle that you kind of just fall into. And I was like, nope, going to go right to that. Mm-hmm. And it's so funny. It was I was a junior in high school. We were going to a Beastie Boys concert. Mm. And I had a month left to get, skinny for the Beastie Boys concert. And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this. And I had a best friend at the time, and we promised each other, this sounds so lame, now and looking back, we promised each other that if things got really out of control, we were going to tell a teacher or a parent or someone. And
that's with the with a drug or alcohol?
With drugs.
Oh,
right.
Okay. That sounds solid.
But it sounds solid. We're
homies.
Yes, we're just doing this to lose weight, and then
very responsible.
Right. Good planning, and that's just not how it went at all. And then pretty soon, so that was junior year. Pretty soon, I went from being in honors classes and things like that to dating the drug dealer and getting kicked out of regular high school.
Was the drug dealer Mexican?
No.
Or black? Was he white?
He was a fake one. Yeah, he was white. Yeah.
I'm telling you, white people are behind this, man. Oh, by the way, I want to say congratulations. You're the first Caucasian
Really?
American here.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I should get a prize.
For reals, man, because I've been trying to book white people here, and they always cancel on me. Their AAA doesn't work.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm
cool.
Yeah, my dad's gonna be proud. Like, wow.
Yes.
See, oh, bring America.
Oh yeah.
You just want
Yes.
an American flag.
Yes. We need one too. We need one for the house.
Boom. There you go, America.
I feel like I should hold it. And then we're talking about meth.
Suck
and,
it.
white privilege.
For the first white drug dealer.
Oh man.
Only at the Carlos Loma Chronicles will we celebrate white people. I'm sorry to.
No.
Sorry for the interruption. Continue with your myth.
So yeah. So like my mom noticed I had a problem and she was like, I'm putting you in Charter Oak.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, we're alumni.
Yes, we are. And so, but the sad thing is she put me in there like the week before I turned 18. So right the day, like midnight when I turned 18, I checked myself out. And
You're like,
right? What is she talking about?
you don't tell me what to do, mother.
That's right. So, just crazy though. And then from there would be times where I would not do that and I would substitute for other things like, you know, alcohol. Alcohol was always, though, a part of my story. Like, alcohol was always there from the beginning until the end. And that was probably like, see?
Earthquake.
What?
Is that an earthquake?
No.
No. It starts talking about alcohol and it's all green.
The alcohol is a little tipsy over here.
I think the flag's been drinking.
Yes. So anyway, so that's a big part of my story. Also, you know, I got pregnant with my son when I was like 19. And
By the drug dealer?
by that guy.
Couldn't-
And yeah.
That's what I'm talking
Smart,
about,
I know,
yo.
right?
Hey,
Like good decision.
the only thing he had going was white, being white.
And I thought, you know what, like we're gonna totally change our lives and everything is gonna be great. And unfortunately, that's just not what happened. He left like before the baby turned 1, and you know, I stopped drinking and I stopped doing drugs. And I thought, like, I'm gonna be a really good mom. And you hear that a lot in meetings, and you hear that a lot in recovery, that like you think your kids or you think someone's gonna change you, and the reality for me was like that just I wanted that to be the case, and I loved my kid more than anything, but I just had this like I can't even describe it, you know, unless you have it, like you don't. I had this obsession for alcohol, so I went back to that, and then
At what age did you go back to it?
It was probably when my son was like 2, maybe 1.5 or 2. So that must have been when I was like 20 or 21. Mm-hmm. And then my friend Mike. So throughout this story, Mike is a big part of my story, and you know he's my husband now. But we met.
Name dropper over here.
What's up now, Jose? Just kidding.
America.
But the reason I dropped his name is because when I was 21, I got a DUI coming home from his birthday party. Right, he had a birthday party, and I was with another guy, and I was coming home and got a DUI, and I had to call my mom because she was babysitting my kid, and I'm like, I'm getting arrested. The car's impounded. She's so pissed at me. My poor mother has been through a lot of stuff, you know.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
but
like your family.
I never called my parents.
No,
I was like,
you didn't?
No, I was so ashamed. I was like, oh, hell no. They were gonna. I mean, remember when I got sent to the Twin Towers one time? Well, you know what? That wasn't. But that wasn't even alcohol related. That was just I just had a failure to appear.
But from what? What was your failure to appear on?
I busted a U-turn.
Oh.
And that
You
was-
just didn't take care of your stuff, right?
Yeah, I
Because-
was irresponsible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't too much Tupac and shit. Yeah, so they were gonna bail me out. I'm like, no, don't do it. So anyways,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, so anyway, so that was like, and I didn't, it's funny because I didn't, you would think like that would be a wake up call. A lot of these things that happened, it's like, that's not normal. Like, that's not normal behavior. And it just didn't like even put a thought in my head that, hey, maybe you might have a problem. Hey, maybe you don't drink like other people, or, you know what I'm saying? So, so that happened, and
when did it start getting worse? After the DUI, or did you? Because I know they always talk about in the big book about progression. It progresses.
Yeah. You know what? I think it did, like, but I think for me, I was always able. So I'm going to back up a little bit too. So I also had like a father who was an alcoholic and a drug addict, and he was always able to keep a good job. And we always had like a house, and we always, you know, I went to private school and things like that, to where it was, like you can almost lie to yourself when you are able to do all those things. So I feel like for me, that was also the case where I could kind of like, I could keep a job for them until, you know, until something happened that was their fault. Right. And
Those bastards.
Right? Yeah. And they were fairly good jobs, you know, and it would always be because of something else. It wouldn't be because of, you know, it would be because I was tardy or because I couldn't show up to work and things like that, that I wouldn't relate to my drinking problem. I was in complete denial, like complete. So, so yeah, things were bad, but honestly, I feel like they were always kind of bad. They were always kind of bad. Yeah.
And when did you say, okay, I need help? When did you acknowledge it? Because I remember my third DUI. I remember I went to, I had a lawyer, right? And then, no, it was my third DUI. So, so then the lawyer goes, obviously you have a problem, you know. And I was like, what? Fucking asshole. I'm trying to, really, motherfucker? You telling you're a doctor now?
Obviously.
But I was still like, no, I don't have a problem. How dare you? I just got bad luck, you know.
Yes.
Same thing.
Yes,
It was
same
always,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
apologize. When did
Yeah.
when did you start saying, oh shit, this is bigger than me? Like,
There were some, like I said, there were a few times where I thought, I just really want to get sober. Like, I just really don't want to be like this anymore. And then I would forget that I felt like that. And I'd go on with, like, how I was living. And it really wasn't until... So I thought, you know what? I am feeling like I have a problem. I feel like it's just where I live. You know, I think if I just left California, this would be better. And so I moved to Las Vegas with my 10-year-old.
nice.
Yeah, right? Another really good decision.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I know. It did.
It
So
wasn't that you moved from California to
to Vegas. Uh-huh.
yeah, and you're like, man, fuck California, man.
Yeah.
These fucking earthquakes.
Yeah.
Fucking Mexicans.
Apparently now though, like they could feel it in Vegas too. I don't know.
They what?
They felt the earthquake in Vegas too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So anyways.
I don't go there. I haven't gone there. I get tempted to go, but I'm like, nah, I'll be gone by the fucking first minute. And
Do you
shit.
gamble?
I gamble.
Okay.
But it's not like
Like obsessively?
nah.
No.
Like I give myself a budget, and after
Yeah.
that, like, all right.
Dead. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I didn't really gamble, but I did find out that the bars there, like, they don't have windows, so you can't tell what time it is. And
I'm getting flashbacks over here.
I know you're sweating. I don't know what's going on.
It's a scary smell. Like, oh god.
So I go to Vegas, and I think things are going to get better there, and they clearly are not getting better, you know. And I usually work in like the food industry. I normally do like food sales. So I'm going and I'm calling on casinos and I'm calling on bars. Like in the middle of the day, I'm calling on bars, right? So go figure.
You're calling.
I'm calling on them like I'm trying to sell them food, but like you have to go into them and converse and sit down and have drinks. Like why not? So so I kind of think things got a little bit out of control there. And then my old friend Mike from high school,
that bastard,
that guy that I got that DUI with, not with, but because of, and
and you're still blaming people.
God dang it.
Damn, I'm telling you.
Mike and his birthdays.
So he called me and he was like, hey, I am going to go live with my girlfriend in North Carolina. Do you mind if I come by and stay for like a couple days? We could just hang out. It'll be fun. And I'm like, yes, of course. So he comes out and Mike drinks like I drink. And things, just to make the story a lot quicker, things get really bad really quick for Mike. And
don't throw him under the bus. This is your story. We'll get to Mike right now. Hold on. There you go.
So Mike is in my room and he's I kind of think he's gonna kill himself because he keeps taking like these sleeping pills just because I don't think he wanted to be awake, anymore. And it was really scaring me. And I told him, like, I've got my son here. You cannot do this. You cannot act like this,
How dare you,
yeah.
Mike?
Gosh.
Sleeping pills. Was it sleeping pills?
No. I don't know what they were. It was a mix of things.
Yeah. So he just wasn't waking up. It was like 2 weeks straight. And yeah, it was
That's just funny, man.
Yeah, right?
Well, yeah, because you don't even question your judgment. Like, fuck.
I don't know.
You're probably taking contraceptives and shit.
So I was like, listen, I knocked on the door and I'm like, hey, if you don't do something, I'm going to call your mom. And, and so he did something and he called someone and he came out and he told me, you know what, I'm going to go to a meeting. And I was like, what? That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. So, hence the like Mike had a problem, and so he started going to meetings, and I share this a lot in my stories. All of a sudden, he started coming home. First of all, he was fellowshipping until really late, and it was pissing me off. And I was like, what the hell are you really doing, And he was coming home looking happy, and he didn't want to sleep all the time anymore. And so...
No more contraceptive?
No. Right. That would have been great. So, women's hormones.
What's going on over here? It's kind of hot.
I got a hot flash. Yeah.
Oh, God. Amber, just need a hug right now, please.
So he starts going to these meetings, and I start seeing a change, and the change was really attractive. And I just thought, well, maybe I'll just try it. And so I tried going to meetings with him, and I got clean, right? Because I was going to NA then, and for about a year. And my life changed significantly. I had all of a sudden become like the mom I really wanted to be. I did get laid off when I was, drug and alcohol free. And so it does happen, like even, but you know what I think it was? I think that was the universe or God or whatever you want to believe in, that was maybe perhaps pushing us back to California. And so we came back to California, and I started...
But you guys were in a relationship already?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. He didn't leave.
Oh.
After the whole, hey, I'm going to... Sorry.
I was like, man, this is some pretty,
that.
white people are very open with a relationship.
It was just a layover, Mike. What happened? Flight got canceled.
Okay. So you were in a relationship together, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were together. Yeah. So we decided... Oh.
So you guys were together ever since?
No.
No, because you guys...
Because we broke up.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So we came back to California, and I decided on my 1 year birthday that I could probably drink again like a normal person, you know?
On your
On my sobriety birthday, which was St. Patrick's Day. Okay. So, and Mike had already started drinking. And there were a couple times where I was going to drink with him and I would like amp myself up and then I would have this weird like anxiety. Like I just can't. And I'd back out really quick. And so on this particular St. Patrick's Day, I decided it would be a good idea to go ahead and drink again. And I'm like, I'm just going to limit myself. I'm going to be fine. Like,
Right.
I'm fine now. And I wasn't fine. And drinking always leads me to other stuff. And so that's kind of what happened. And then, you know, of course, then I really lose everything. So then I lose my job that I love again. And that time it definitely was because of my performance, because I just wasn't able to show up the way I can show up when I'm sober. I lost Mike because we were absolutely like we're so toxic for each other when we are drinking. So sometimes when we're sober, but like mainly when we're drinking, it's pretty terrible. And yeah, so that was really ugly. And it was just terrible. We lost the house that we were in.
So, and you were together with him? Or?
Yeah, well, yeah, we were in March, and then we broke up in like September. Well, he finally moved out of the house. I felt like we were broken up before that. I'm just gonna leave that there.
Does he know that?
He does. Yeah. No, that's the other cool thing too about being in sobriety now with him is I can be completely honest, whereas when I'm drinking, I'm really just such a big liar and so shady and just bad. So.
Yes, I understand.
Yes. What time is it? Are you?
No. It's because my dad's coming.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Keep going.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, this is getting juicy right here.
So we break up and I get married. No. We break up.
Right.
And he's still trying, like, all of a sudden, he gets sober again. And he's like, you should come back to AA. And I just couldn't. Like, I just didn't want to. I couldn't. So the first time it was really easy for me. I felt like the obsession that they talk about, it was just easy. It just didn't feel like it was that hard. And then this time, you know, it was so hard. The obsession, was like this monkey on my back that I could not get off. And I would go to meetings drunk and I would, I tried, you know, I knew what the right thing to do was. And that's the other thing too, is like when you get sober sometimes, I think, and then you know how good your life can be, and then you screw it up again. And you're like, oh, I need to get back to that. I need to get back to where it was.
That you feel guilty.
Oh.
And you lose I haven't lost my sobriety this time, but.
Right. So that's kind of where I was at. And, yeah, and so it was really hard. It was really, really hard.
And the day came when you decided, well, not decided, but what happened? Your 6. When you decided to stop drinking.
Yeah. So April 3rd, 2013, I understood like the thing that Mike had been doing in that room where you just don't want to be awake. Like all of the hope was gone. I felt like such a piece of crap. Like it was just, you know, demoralizing. I'm living at my grandma's house. My poor kid, you know, just his mother is just out there, you know, and I just, the hopelessness, I think, is what had really, like, taken over. And I remember dropping to my knees in my grandma's room, in my room at my grandma's house, and just praying, you know, and for God to please help me. And I had prayed that prayer so many times before, but this time, I don't really know what happened. I guess God's grace or the universe or something, where it was just enough. I was just done.
Yeah. I think that I call it when I surrendered, like it was the hardest thing, but it was, after that, it was the easiest thing.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it was, I don't know, I felt kind of blessed that I went through that.
Yeah.
And lucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, it's kind of weird. It's kind of very spiritual. Very spiritual. And it's it's kind of, it's, I can't even describe it,
I agree.
And it's, so after that,
well, the other thing, you mentioned it, like, I felt super, now in looking back, like, so the first time when Mike had the problem, right? I didn't have that. I didn't have that, like, where I broke down and I felt like, gosh, enough is enough and I can't do this anymore and I feel so broken. Like, that didn't happen. I just thought, that looks cool, I'm going to go do it. And I didn't have the surrender like you talked about. And so this particular time, I do feel blessed that, like, I was broken that much and I needed to go through what I needed to go through in order to...
Yeah, and it's, I don't... If you guys don't believe in God, then that's on you. But, or like, I kind of picture, like, okay, when they talk about, like, God puts your pieces back together.
Yeah.
Because he wants to shape you, I guess, in his image.
Yes.
And, it's just weird, like, like, oh, okay, this piece goes over here and not over here or whatever.
Yep.
And sometimes, yeah, like, I'm very lucky that I went through that, and I don't know, it's kind of weird. And I think that's why a lot of when sober people, when they start sobering up, they just want to spread it.
Yeah.
And people get annoyed over that.
No.
But it's like, it feels so good, you just want to share it, like, hey.
Kind of like love,
Gross.
I'm done trying to share it with Carlos.
Speaking of love, congratulations, you got married like 2 weeks ago, right?
No, like in April 27th. April.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Man, you guys are still posting like wedding pictures.
Maybe.
I guess. I'm just traumatized.
I was just gonna say.
I'm traumatized. You guys traumatized me with your love.
Yeah.
Like, I woke up, Amber.
It's autumn.
Oh, jeez.
Why do I keep saying that? Amber.
Because she's the first white person.
Yeah, it's true. See, this is what Mexicans have to go through.
Oh my God.
They call me Jose, they call me Oscar, everything but my name.
You know what's funny is I get called Amber all the time. All the time. You are not the first. I guess I look like an Amber. I don't know.
I'm sorry, I'm being stereotypical, that's why. But Autumn's pretty white too. So. Yeah, it's like Brittany or
So we got married. And that too, I think we had to have some time apart. We definitely had to have some time apart. I got married to someone else, and he was not supportive of my recovery the way Mike is.
Right.
And so for me, when that marriage ended, I thought, like a lot of things in my life, when they end, like, it's over, it's the end of the world, this is so terrible, this is the worst thing that could have happened. And the reality is, it's probably for him too, it's probably the best thing that could have happened. And when that relationship ended, I had nothing left to do. I was so sad and so broken that once again I had to completely surrender, because I had put Alcoholics Anonymous on the back burner for this new family, and I had these stepkids and I had my son, and it was this family that I wanted to like recreate. Like the whole time that, I had been drinking, I had this vision, right, of like what I wish my life would have looked like. And so I felt like I had to really give this thing my all. And in doing so, I put AA on the back burner, and I had like only one sponsee that actually has stuck with me the whole time. Hey, Cassandra.
Is it Cassandra? Yeah. Okay.
Well, no, it's just random. Yeah,
damn,
no, it's
I'm turning into my dad, dude.
Exactly.
My dad gets like all these names mixed up. Like,
really?
My dog's name is Kiki, and he's like Cookie.
We just did a whole episode in Spanish about his dad.
Really?
Not knowing names and him getting mad.
See? See?
I apologize.
It's okay.
Apologize.
No worries. Yeah. So,
I'm just excited that the first white person.
I know. It's okay, Carlos. It's okay. So,
White people do like me. See?
See? You're calling the wrong names. It's great. It's so much fun. So again, with that, just like with my sobriety, like it made me. So when that relationship ended, I felt really broken. I felt like I was gonna drink. In fact, like, you know, it's so funny. We do all this self-reflection. Right? Mm-hmm. And so I had done so much writing and known so much about myself that, like, I kind of know when I get this weird physical feeling inside of my, like, the pit of my stomach, I kind of know what that leads to in years past, which is drinking.
Right.
And so I knew that, oh, crap, I'm feeling that again. So now I have, like, things that I can do in order to, like, not drink. So I did those things and I didn't drink, and I got more involved in AA than I had ever been before, because it's all I had, you know, like, it's all I had to become, like, a good mother. It's all I knew. And yeah, it's just amazing sometimes the experiences that God or the universe or whatever you want to say, you know, leads you to all these cool things.
And at this time, you're currently employed.
I am.
Oh, okay, cool.
What? I know.
And what company is it?
So, shameless plug, yeah. So, I actually, so I work for a company called Clean. It's a yerba mate. It's all organic.
White
right?
people.
It's got like half the carbs and half the sugars of the leading yerba mate if you're into yerba mate. It's got a crap ton of caffeine in it, natural caffeine. And so part of the story that I didn't get to tell you is, like, Mike needed help with his patio company, and so he hired me. And I didn't think we were going to get married after I started working for him. I was like, this sucks. Like, my boss sucks. And so he fired me one time for being insubordinate. And during one of those times, he fired me a couple times, Carlos, but, like, during one of those times, I started looking for a job. And
what a dick.
You didn't even give me a warning, like, nothing.
No write-up,
just
no nothing.
Just out.
Did you collect unemployment?
Right? No, I couldn't. So
you're calling unemployment.
Right?
He's over there. No, denied. No.
I'm the
She came in
HR
drunk
manager,
again.
right? So during one of those times, I went online to Indeed and found this job, and at first it was like beverage sales, and I kind of like skimmed over it because I thought, oh no, that's alcohol. And then the more I looked and the more I learned about the company, they give 50% of their profits to help people get sober living scholarships. So it's all clean ingredients, but then also it's a play on words, obviously. So the founder is a recovering addict. And so I think like 70% of our employees are in program. And they give scholarships to help people. So the more that we buy in our communities, the more scholarships we give in that area. So it feels so good to be a part of something so much bigger, and then also something so close to my heart. You know, and another thing I didn't mention is that my dad, you know, who I talked about earlier, here you go. He died from this disease. So that would have been one of my other wake-up calls, I feel like, other than, like, the DUI that Mike made me get. You know, going...
This fucking mic is not good for you.
I know, right? But going to, like, the drug house where my dad died at should have been, like, a wake-up call of, hey... dummy. You keep going on the path you're going, and you're just like your dad. This is what's going to happen to you, and your kid's going to have to like come and find out what happened. And even that at the time, though, didn't get me sober. So it's funny. It takes what it takes, I guess. But I think it's all a collection of like all those things, and when you look back on them, it's like, how cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So I congratulate and thank you for coming and sharing your story.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Carla. It's Autumn.
Yes, I know. Ever since the last time, I was like, Autumn.
So where can we get the drinks?
So they're in all of Mother's Markets in Southern California. We're
Mother's?
That's in Orange County, you know. So in the Inland Empire, like in our area, you can go to San Dimas. They have them at the Vitamin Shop in San Dimas.
Anywhere there's no Mexicans, you can
And then at the 502 Club, they have it at the 502 Club also. They brought it in too.
Okay.
So yeah. Right.
But
I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it.
Well,
pretty soon, Bristol Farms.
There's a lot of,
so much.
There's so much area you could.
So much in LA.
In Los Angeles.
Yes.
I mean, I think Pomona
So
too.
if anybody has a store and if they're interested, they can contact you.
Absolutely. And you can go to www.cleancause.com if you have any questions or you need a scholarship even. And also to find the stores that we're in. So yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate
you. And congratulations on your new
life.
Your newlyweds.
Thanks. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. We'll be back.